Marathon hate is like scrolling through TikTok. You're there just to meme and comment, but all of a sudden it's been 6 hours and you haven't made a video. No? Just me? Sorry about that. I guess I really lost track of time and didn't think about it. In Marathon, even the tutorial can be lackluster, boring, and you're not incentivized to do it. At the risk of embarrassing myself and getting called a noob, I failed the tutorial about 2 to 3 times because I didn't understand the extract and how it worked. Achieving extract allows you to finish the tutorial and understand how you do it moving forward. That's not to say I haven't extracted in video games. I have played 0 Hour and things like Ready or Not, where you have to go into the circle, then you get your extract, and then you finish the mission, you get your grade, and then you replay or you exit to desktop. My caffeine just kicked in, so if I sound breathy and I sound like I'm getting a rush to my head, that's why. The reason I bring all this up is because this is friction for the player. So let me explain for just a little bit. At certain times towards the end of the match, you'll get a timer and they'll say where the beacon is. When you go towards the beacon and interact with it, then you have your extract. A timer begins to play and you're extracted out of there within 10 seconds. However, if you don't stay within the circle and you're fighting enemies and you're just dealing with hordes of enemies, you could die at the extract. And what I was doing was playing incorrectly in the tutorial because I thought I had to deal with a wave before I could interact with the extract beacon. But that's not how it works. If you're at the extract, it just extracts you. So even with a bunch of enemies, you could still win by a hair if you're nearby the beacon. So it kind of ruined the experience for me like 2 or 3 times in the tutorial because I thought, oh, they are guarding the beacon. If I don't get rid of them, then won't be able to use it. I won't be able to extract, right? But no, there's no elimination punishment. You just get extracted, and that confused me for 2 or 3 tries. And nowhere really did I see it explain that you'll be extracted regardless of the amount of enemies around. It just says to extract. So imagine the beginner experience when you go to extract. You don't know anything about the game, and there's a bunch of enemies at you, and you step outside the circle by mistake, and then just get owned. Right? Could be a skill issue at that point, but still, you're not gonna fall in love with the game with that type of experience. Which brings me to my next real point: is they drop the ball with the dopamine hits. You don't really get a sense for how cool the game is at all, like at any point. And I say they dropped the ball because the tutorial should have showed you this. Like, here's this really cool gun, take it off the rack, or try these other guns, see what you like, kind of like what Apex does in the training arena or training room, whatever it is. Something to allow you to tell the difference between a beginner weapon and an advanced weapon. Nothing like that ever shows up, unless maybe it's in the tutorial on the map somewhere. I didn't see it. Not to mention, your most reliable kill method is getting close with the knife. That's the best way to kill someone in the game. Bullets just suck. They just don't take anything down. And if you knife someone, they go down 2 or 3 hits. If they're wearing armor, it might be a little different. But usually early game, knife just kills everything. Like, let me try an LMG, something that looks like the Thunderlord in the tutorial. Or like something cool with like a lot of firepower. Let me know which gun makes it feel like the enemies are going to die faster. I don't think that ever happens though, because in the game, most people complain that every gun feels the same, nothing feels meta. You just basically, it's all laser beams and everything feels like it kills in the same amount of time. That is from what other people say, not my own experience. My experience is I've picked up a gun, I wasn't able to tell the difference between that and another gun, even if it was an SMG, an AR, or just my knife, to be honest. And I think pistols, for some reason, have more takedown capability than the ARs, which is just wild. Every time I've had a successful kill, it was never with an AR, at least quickly anyway. It was always a pistol that took down something quickly. After live streaming it, playing about 7 to 9 matches, I'm really done with the game. I don't think it has anything to offer for $40 when it comes out. I made an offer for my friends to come play with me, but they didn't seem to be interested, so I'm probably going to uninstall it as soon as the weekend ends. Like I was saying, I've played extraction shooters, I've played tactical shooters that feel kind of similar. Even Tarkov is a little bit like it. perhaps Rust is closer, mechanics wise, where you loot stuff and take it back to your base. And for the most part, I don't have a problem with tactical shooters or extraction shooters. I think most of them are okay or average looking to play or feel to play. But Marathon just has a bunch of blandness when you go into it, despite all the colors on the wall and all the aesthetics that are supposed to be enticing. I don't get it. And even when they try to pull off their aesthetic, when you look at the characters such as Vandal, she's extremely different from her artwork, and it's just, I don't know what they were thinking. Not to mention, a portion of the audience already isn't going to buy this game because of the art theft that happened. Even though that's been settled, people are still uncomfortable with Bungie stealing art, which they've done prior to the whole Marathon scandal. And like many streamers have said, why wouldn't you go play Arc Raiders, or why wouldn't you go play a different game that's free instead of pay $40 for Marathon? I don't think anyone wants to pay $40 for Marathon. Nobody wants to sit there and be mad at a game that's not fun because nobody's playing it. Not only that, when you loot things, nothing really makes sense as to what you're grabbing. You do have this short moment where you can read the description if you're not under fire, or if, you know, enemy AI isn't after you. So you get like a brief moment to read stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say you can't read it all, but it is a very long description, and it's stupid trying to read all that and know what everything does and if you need it or not, or if you should take it back to base. I think basically if it's worth anything, just take it. You can sell it when you get back to your menu. You can just sell it out of your vault. You don't really have to keep it. But most stuff in the game is just useless. You don't have a need for it. Not to mention ammo, weapons, they just seem to be devoid of anywhere in the game. You open a box, you might find one or two weapons the whole game. You're just out of luck when you look for stuff. There's just nothing to look for. Sometimes there's health packs, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's like little grenades, like a smoke grenade I got the last time, which that was a cool score. I could use that smoke grenade, but guess what? You can just use assassin if you want smoke. You just pop it at the right time. You don't need a smoke grenade. So assassin has that ability already. Speaking of abilities, I went back into the game because I saw a little bit of footage where someone was using a drone. I was like, oh, that's cool. I've used drones before in like 0 Hour or tac shooters. Let me see what it does. Needless to say, it was lackluster. Every time I used it, it didn't ping any enemies, and that was my experience. People probably had better luck with it on their end, but all it did was just pulse around me in a certain amount of radius, and it was a very short radius, to be honest. You could probably upgrade it in the full game or something later, but it was just ridiculous how short the range was. And having a drone just recon for you automatically is really stupid. I wanted to control the drone, mark targets on my own, see if I could do that. Like you can even do that in High Guard with what's her face with the bird. What's the bird's name? Or bird girl, sorry. Condor was her name. I think Condor's an actual bird. It's supposed to offer itself as some kind of tactical experience, but I didn't feel tactical at all the entire time. Besides my own capabilities of like holding 6 or like flanking or shooting down a hallway, and keeping suppression fire, like that's all stuff you can do in any video game. None of it felt tactical, which also is why I have a gripe with the design. It's supposed to be more of a tactical game. It has some colors and stuff splashed all over the character. It doesn't feel like a military shooter. It's more of like a let's go down to this planet and extract resources. So we should look like bums, to be honest. We shouldn't even look military. But they went for this half and half thing where it's like half military, half punk, and it just doesn't work. And it's barely punk at that. Fragpunk did a better job at designs than this. I mean, look at Vandal. Look at her. But at the end of the day, if you like this game for whatever reason, and you're a beginner to extraction shooters, you've never played one, and you think you're gonna like it, I mean, go for it. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my thing, especially coming from a tactical shooter background. I don't play extractions that often, but I do play tactical shooters, and that's where I feel comfortable. Extractions do take heavy inspiration from tactical shooters, though, which is why I'm kind of leaning into the genre nowadays. I think I will pick up Arc Raiders instead of this game, Marathon. because Marathon does have little to offer in comparison, and it's the same price. I'd rather spend my $40 on Arc Raiders, play that, and get started with that. And the community is nice, the sound design is great, even the way you can make your character look. There might be paid skins in the game, but that's a different conversation. They were going to do that to Marathon, I'm sure, as well. So you're way better off playing Arc Raiders. At the fundamental level, at the core level, I can't even recommend this game, though, to anyone. Like I said, if you're a beginner, maybe. But other than that, I don't think you're going to like this game. And even if you are a beginner and you've been a Bungie fan for years like I have, I've loved Halo, I've loved Destiny. I didn't like it when they took away the Red War, but never mind all that. It's gone. They didn't fix Destiny 2. They didn't work on Destiny 3. They produced Marathon, which was a bad move in my in my opinion, not decision. That was a bad decision in my opinion. There we go. You know, it sucks because I really didn't want to dog on this game. I didn't want to make fun of it. I didn't want, I didn't want the employees to lose their jobs, but I wanted it to be fun, and that's not what we're getting. Not in the test, not in the server slam anyway. Whatever's coming, I'll plaster it on screen. I'll put it up there because they did announce that new content is coming to the game. However, I don't feel like it's enough to save it. So that's it for now. Bye until the next long form video, which is probably a long way away. I converted to shorts recently. So if you want to watch my game development journey, I'll be over there on shorts and you can follow it if you want. Bye.